Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yasudhanandana Brajana Anjana Yasudhanandana Brajana Anjana Yashodhanandana Brajana Anjana Yamunatera Vanachari Yamunatera Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakatarya Astota Satat Sisima, the Divine Grace is confined Acharya Sila Abhayacharya Navin Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakatarya Astota Satat Sisima, the Divine Grace Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavin Ki Jai. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kahao Se Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Se Advaita Gadadhar Se Vasari Se Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Se Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Mapadam Ki Jai. Jagannath Dham Ki Jai. Gangamaya Yamunamaya Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Srimati Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glory to the sum of the devotees. All glory to the sum of the devotees. All glory to the sum of the devotees. All glories to Sister Gaura and Garam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Cheva Naruttamam. Devim Saraswati Vyamsa. Tato Jaya Mudire. Nasta Paye Svabhadesu. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Sloke. Bhakti Bhava Itinayistiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, Text 32. Nishamatistawa Rukrama Grim. Risyatyanam tapagamu yadataha. Maye sampada rajo bhishekam. Niskanchanana navrinita yavat. Nesamatistawa urukramagri. Prisatyanapta pagamo yadataha. Mahiyasam pararajabhishekam. Niskinchanana. Niskinchananam navrinitayavad. Nesham matistava urukrama grim. Prasatyamapta pagamoya daptaha. Mahiyasam pararajabhishekam. Niskinchananam navrinitayavad. Did someone try?
Pagamo yada artha sampadarajo Nishkinchananam na vrinitayavad
Anyone else? Any other montages to balance up the man? Balancing. All right. What about you? Okay. Don't feel shy, okay? Participate. You're here so you can grow. Okay, synonyms means word for word translation and then translation. Proper by His Divine Grace is confirmed Acharya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Na, not. Esham, of these. Mati, some people say Matihi. Anyway, we're not trying to be Sanskritist, we're trying to be this. The consciousness. Tawat, that long. Urukrama Agrim. Urukrama Angrim. The lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is famous for performing uncommon activities? Vishati does touch. Anatta of unwanted things. Apagamaha, the disappearance. Yet, of which Ataha, the purpose. Mahi Yashan, of great souls. The Atmas or devotees. The Mahatmas or devotees. Adarajaha, the lotus feet of by the dust of the lotus feet. Abhisheka, consecration. Niskirtananam, of devotees who have nothing to do with this material world. Now, not. Vrinita may accept. Yeah, what? As long as. Translation. Unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely free from material contamination. Persons very much inclined toward materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified by his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, in this way can one be freed from material contamination. This is going to repeat. Unless they spin upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination. Persons very much inclined toward materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. Who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. In this way, can one be freed from material contamination. Report. Becoming Krishna conscious brings about ananta apagamaha, the disappearance of all anantas, the miserable conditions we have unnecessarily accepted. The material body is the basic principle of these unwanted, miserable conditions. The entire Vedic civilization is meant to relieve one from these unwanted miseries. But persons bound by the laws of nature do not know the destination of life. As described in the previous verse, Isha Tantriyam Urudammi Badaha. They are conditioned by the three strong modes of material nature. The education that keeps the conditioned soul bound life after life is called materialistic education. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained that materialistic education expands the influence of Maya. Such an education induces the conditioned soul to be increasingly attracted to materialistic life and to stray further and further away from liberation from unwanted miseries. One may ask why highly educated persons do not take to Krishna consciousness. The reason is explained in this verse. Unless one takes shelter of a bona fide, fully fully Krishna conscious spiritual master, there is no chance of understanding Krishna. The educators, scholars, and big political leaders, worshipped by millions of people, cannot understand the goal of life and take to Krishna consciousness, for they have not accepted a bona fide spiritual master and the Vedas. Therefore, in Mukunda Upanishad 3:2-3, it is said, Nayam Atma Pravachan Nena Labhyo Namedhaya Nabahuna Sutena. One cannot become self-realized simply by having an academic education, by presenting lectures in an erudite way, pravachinayana labhya, or by being an intelligent scientist who discovers many wonderful things. One cannot understand Krishna unless one is graced by the Supreme Personality of God. Only one who has surrendered to a pure devotee of Krishna and taken the dust of his lotus feet can understand Krishna. First, one must understand how to get out of the clutches of Maya. The only means is to become Krishna conscious. And to become Krishna conscious very easily, one must take shelter of the realized soul. A Mahat or Mahatma, whose only interest is to engage in the service of the Supreme Lord, as the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita. Mahamanastu mapata devim prakriti asritaha bhajantanaya manaso gyatva bhuta dimavyaya. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of God, original and inexhaustible. Therefore, to end the unwanted miseries of life, one must become a devotee. Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Savhe Gunesh Tata Samasate Suraha. One who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna consistently manifests all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. It's from the Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 8, text 12. Yasadeva para bhakti yatadeva tatagra yasheti katita yataha prakasante mahatmanha. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all of the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. This is from the Svetasvatara Upanishad 6:23. Yam evesha vrinute tena labhyas taishesha atma vrinute tanumsva. The Lord is obtained only by one whom he himself chooses. He makes the selection himself. No one can cheat. Remember the case where the gopis were begging Krishna to give them some jewelry, some pearls. But, Krishna begged them pearls. They never gave Krishna. So, the point is that, Krishna begged for some pearls. There was a great festival going on. There's a festival going on in at Govardhan. And so Krishna wanted to decorate his cows, to go with his cows to Govardhan for the festival. So he went to beg the gopis some pearls. But They turned his request down. They said, no, these pearls are meant for decorating the king's queen, not your cows, not your buffaloes. Said, okay. Like, say, I hear you. So Krishna went and then developed a garden with the help of getting some pearls from his mom. Mom was hesitant, and then the mother succumbed eventually because of persistent pressure. And the pearls, they flourished within a short while. And the gopis also thought, we saw him doing that garden anyway. We can also develop a garden, cultivate a garden. And in fact, we should have a bigger garden than Christians. So they went to collect all the pearls from their homes. And then what happened? It was thicker bushes that sprung up. They didn't take shelter of Krishna in that very Leela. So then it was a disaster. That's the point. You saw even what transpired, and you want to do it. No shelter. It's a disaster. So, yeah, shelter is so important. Walking under the guidance of some superior is so important. These are Vedic injunctions. One must take shelter of self-realized spiritual master, not a materially educated scholar or politician. One must take shelter of Niskinchana, a person engaged in devotional service free from material contamination. That is the way to return home back to God. Magyana Timiramisya Yanajana Saksu on Melita Jena Tasmai Si Gurave Chachetaya Manobistam Safitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamaya Badati Swa Padantika Vande Hamsi Gurum Si Yuttapada Kamalam Si Gurum Vaishya Sirupa Sagrajatam Saha Gana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadveta Sarvadhuta Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Pada Saha Ganalalita Vishakam Vitam He Krishna Karanasindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurame Radhe Vrindavani Sare Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodata Gurutai Pustavanto Tirtachandra Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nanda Te Advaita Gadadhara Sivasada Sagora Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristai Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pashakya Visapari Panchakalpatari Vyacha Kripasamaya. So, yeah, this is very important for us because these are the statements in the Vedic literature, in our own books, and the process is given. Somebody wants to become free from the cycle of repeated birth and death. Someone wants to become self-realized. They get instructions. They serve under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And this is called the Paramparan system. Vedic knowledge is transmitted from the guru to the disciple, and then the disciple to the next person, to the next person. That is how the whole system came down. And it is essential that that surrender process entails some genuine service attitude. Because Lord Krishna stipulated that in the Bhagavad Gita, that vidi panipatena paripasmena seva service upagresha. What is the consequence? What is the outcome of that service? When you're pleased with somebody, you bless them. If, for instance, you have a child at home, or you have maybe a younger sibling at home, you want to go to work, and then he or she comes to you and says, "Oh, your shoe seems to be dirty. Daddy, uncle, or dad, yes, your shoe seems to be dirty. Can I clean it for you?" And it's okay. Just by making that observation and suggesting that they want to do some service, you will be so happy. You'll be so happy and think, well, I never proposed this to him or her. He's bringing up this idea. Wow. You feel this child really loves me. Well, yeah. And so when you go out to work, you'll be thinking about how to reciprocate with this fellow. You close from work, you want to go to the mall to get some things for this person. Because what? He did some service to me. You could say, "Hey, Dad, before you go out, give me $10. He didn't say he didn't say that. He said, "Can I clean your shoes for you?" It's not so clear. Service. Service is what creates a bond in relationship. You want to tie up somebody, render service to them. Yeah. When you serve somebody, you make some requests. Even you don't make the request, they will voluntarily, they will think of ways on how to help you. Yeah. So our process is very simple. And it's just based on genuine service attitude. We approach the devotee, the teacher, the guru, we serve them. They will bless us with devotional service. And just by pleasing the guru, is mentioned in our Mangalachana prayers, the last one says, "Yasa prasadam bhagava prasada, yasa prasadam nangati putoti." Essentially, it implies if the guru is pleased, automatically Krishna is happy with you. So this type of strategy makes it easy to attain Krishna. You don't need to wonder, "Oh, Krishna, how am I sure Krishna is happy with my service? How am I going to know if Krishna is pleased with me?" What we should be asking ourselves is my guru pleased with my service? Is my guru pleased with what I'm doing? If you're damn sure he's pleased, you don't need to worry. Krishna is automatically pleased. You're an eligible candidate for going back home, back to God. And sometimes some people say, "Well, I don't need a guru. I just read Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada is my guru." Good for you. And sometimes people argue that we don't need any guru. Prabhupada is the only guru. Good for you. I mean, for a management scientist, this is completely bizarre because in all faculties of management, the professor who developed that faculty has a mission statement, a purpose, and a vision for that faculty. And these are documented. They are placed either in the reception or central location in the faculty for everyone to see. And so that those who become deans of the faculty, they know the goal, the mission, and the vision of the management acharya of that faculty. So Prabhupada also has documented his vision, his mission statement. They're all documented. And so we want to please Prabhupada. We simply follow, walk in alignment with his vision, his mission statement, and goals. Finish. We don't need to crack. This does not require any rocket science. And in all organizations are set up before organization is registered with the appropriate authorities. We have to submit this type of information. And Prabhupada did all of that when he registered his International Society for Krishna. And how to easily please Prabhupada and even our own spiritual masters, we just follow that laid down document. What's the mission statement of Prabhupada? Is there in the planting the seed. It's also documented. So we don't need to crack our brains to figure out what are we going to do and all this. No. Everything has been documented. We just follow up with that, and we rest assured we are on a jet plane to Goloka. Acha. Yeah, it's a simple thing, a simple procedure. And so this is the process of surrendering to the Guru. You know what the Guru's mission statement is? You know his vision, you know his goals, you prosecute that, and you're good to go. Prabhupada emphasized, distribute my books. And this whole mission of spreading Krishna consciousness to the whole world by Prabhupada and his followers, we're based on book distribution. And Harina, chanting on the street, festivals, Bhakti yatras, regular classes to enrich the devotees and infuse the devotees with enthusiasm. And so I go around and I hear a lot of places people say, how can I become, how can I be focusedly enthused? Yes, I ask, you read Bhagavad Gita every day? No. You attend classes every day? No. You eat only prasadam, you don't eat in a restaurant, you don't eat the pizza outside. That is not offered to Krishna? No. Everything is no. Oh, but you want to enthusiasm now? You have to stop this. When the Prabhupada wanted us to focus on Krishna, to follow his instruction. And there are some of his instructions that they look like very simple, but they are substantive. Simple, but essential ingredients for spiritual growth. And so the surrendering process to surrender to a guru entails service and aligning with the guru's instructions. Rendering of service and aligning with the guru's instructions. We don't need to manufacture anything. Everything is laid down. There's no need for discoveries. The Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that, if even you're a big time scholar, that is not any criteria or any criterion for attaining Krishna. You have to serve the devotees. So it just if you want to drive to, for instance, to Detroit, you look for the shortcuts so that it minimizes your time. I mean, the duration of your trip. You cut it down. You go for the shortcut. Here is a shortcut. Just please serve the devotee who is propagating the mission of Prabhupada. Serve the pure devotee who is propagating the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's a simple process. The Prabhupada, it means so many references to the very reason. It doesn't just say one thing, and I very much like Prabhupada for that. That is scholarship. We don't say something. You go to the law court. If for instance, a legal practitioner goes to the law court, he wants to convince the judge to set his client free. He has to convince the judge with evidences from past situations, from past context. So Prabhupada is very expert. He says one thing, he backs up what he says with strict references. It's called references. So there are a lot that we can emulate. Even Prabhupada tells stories, but some of the stories are lived experiences, and some of them, most of his stories, he gave stories, analogies from his own spiritual master's writings. Bhakti Siddhanta, he wrote so much about different situations, analogies, and stories that explain certain conditions, certain situations that we need to have. So we are trying to be followers. We're trying to be Rupa Nugas, followers of Rupa Goswami. Means that there's a lot that we can digest from the writings of the acharyas. And so we should not go to the internet and pick up some story, because some of the stories on the internet are not substantive. I remember I saw some very nice, beautiful pastime on the internet about Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna was chanting Krishna's name, even in dream. I love this story. I love that pastime. So I asked, so luckily I found one guy put this story on the internet. So I contacted him. I said, look, I love this pastime, but you didn't give any reference. You didn't give any reference where you got this story. Share with me. I love this story. I would like to share with other people. But see, I'm a mundane scholar. When I tell people stories, I like to give a reference. Can you share the reference? He said, you get back to me. So I waited. This was when I was in India recently. It's not being critical, but because I have gone to some countries. I tell some story to explain some facts, and then after the class, someone comes to me and said, Maharaj, where can we find this? Where can we find this story? I'll tell them where they can find it. So I have had that experience. So I won't go and tell. I will go and pick up a story on the internet and then repeat that story somewhere, because I attract people who are intellectually minded. So they will come privately to ask me. They may not even ask in the class. So this guy said he will get back to me. We're talking about the process of learning, hearing from the spiritual master. You will make inquiries. After making inquiries, he said he'll get back to me. So I waited. I didn't hear back from him. So I contacted him again. He said, oh, this pastime is in the Bhagavatam. I said, no, it's not in the Bhagavatam. I said, I have 2 sets of Bhagavatam in my room right here in my book. Come to 1 to 12. It's not there. Then he switched the story. He started asking me how do people join ISKCON, how to join ISKCON. So I know that he didn't have Huh? Yeah, they didn't have reference. So although I love the story so much, I mean, I couldn't use it. I couldn't retell that story. I was mentioning this situation to one of my friends. He's a scientist, young man in Kolkata. He has a PhD in some science field. So he said, "Oh, bad Maharaj, they also use these stories to tell the devotees." I said, "You stop it. You're a scholar. You can't tell a story without a reference. If they ask you, well, Dr. Sasantos, where can we find this story? What will you say?" Yeah, so the process of learning requires that we don't just become zombies. Something we have ambiguities, we ask for clarification. And if we read Prabhupada's books, we can get, we can be really grounded in spiritual information culture. There are so many books. The Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada written so many small books. And Srimad Bhagavatam is there. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat. The Goswamis have written so many books. So for us to be able to represent Prabhupada nicely, we have to be equipped with devotional information culture. Means we have to read the books so that we are in a position to help us connect with Prabhupada. All of these references given here in this purport is just to let us understand the importance of the spiritual master in our lives. We need one. If even we are so intelligent, we need to serve, walk under the guidance of a spiritual master. Because in spiritual life, we do have ambiguities at some point in time. And we should be able to contact our spiritual master to get our ambiguities clarified. It's not a fashion. I mean, it's just like somebody had approached one of my friends, a mathematician. He had sent a message to me just yesterday saying, "Oh, one of my cousins wants to take initiation from you." And I said, "Look, let him be practical. Let him get connected with some of the gurus who are coming to your country. I don't come there. If he has some things to clarify, how's he going to reach out to me?" I said, "Explain to him that I appreciate his interest in taking shelter of me, but for me, this is not a pragmatic approach. I don't come. Don't come to a country. I don't have plans of coming to a country. So how does that relationship work?" So yeah, because I know how much I gain from my own spiritual master. It cost me on the phone. Oh yeah. And I have access to him. I remember when he gave me some service to do in charge of BBT. It's a very difficult service. I have to print books, raise money to print books, distribute those books to the different temples. And then on top of that, other complicated services like being the registrar for life membership. And people who are coming, I was also the secretary. People who are coming to the movement that first time, I have to attend to them. Sometimes the queue till outside. And in most days, I wouldn't even have time to eat until afternoon. That's how I ended up, eating every day at 2 o'clock. So, but then he comes from his tours. Sometimes he comes to the office and sits down with me there for like 2 hours, trying to get all of the details of the challenges I face in trying to execute that service. So we need the guru. We need somebody who has to guide us, someone that we can relate with, someone we can message when we are confused and we get a clarification. So this young man, yeah, he has good intention, but look, I'm not accessible to him. I don't go up. I'm not going to his country, and I don't plan to be going. So how would that relationship work? So I was just supposed to him, please look for somebody else who is coming to your country and take shelter. Because since Arjuna was confused, he had to meet Krishna. Krishna was talking to him face to face. The concept in the Gita cannot be swept under the carpet. Krishna says, approach a bona fide, approach a guru. Approach means what? Approach literally means meeting somebody. So we get confused, like Arjuna was confused. And his guru clarified his doubts, clarified his ambiguities. So the service attitude has to be there. We come to Krishna consciousness, we have to render some service. If we don't have any service, we should make some inquiries from the management to give us some service, because that facilitates the expedition of the purification process. Any service we do in the spiritual community helps to bring us closer to Krishna. Yes, any comments or questions? Oh, yeah. It's pretty simple. It's just like I just explained. This boy, because his cousin is close to me. Okay, so he might have some affection for me, but the practical thing is that I'm not available. And see, my initiations, I mean, I'm not going to go to that country because of him. I have so many things to do. So first thing is accessibility of the guru. Is he accessible to you? Because Krishna was accessible to Arjuna. Arjuna was confused, and Krishna clarifies his doubt. So sometimes, I remember the case of one young man, one country, I don't want to mention the country, and then he just took initiation not long ago, and then he was finding difficulty with his guru. Okay, so he came to me to make some inquiry, but I said that, why didn't you study this, your guru, before you decide to take the initiation? You know what he told me? He said, Maharaj, I just follow the flow. In other words, there are many people that are disciples of this guru in his community, so he just followed the flow. I said, but it's not right. Now you're having a problem. You could even end up committing offenses because you're finding fault with your guru. You are complaining about him. This is not good for your spiritual life. So, sensibility, we should study the person, we should interact, study the person, figure out, try to understand, render service, figure out whether you're compatible. There's also compatibility. Yeah, so, and then the other point is that you should listen to the lectures. If they have literatures, you read and see whether there's some connection. Of course, some people, you just see them one at just the first time, and it's like, it seems as if we were married several lifetimes ago. But a situation where you're not even seeing this person, you do not even have interaction with him, you have not communicated. I mean, it's like, again, one European devotee in Ademano, she was mentioning to me how for past 3 years, she had this type of attachment for one guru. But then she complained that she wrote to him, and after 6 months before she got a reply. And then even in reply, the guru assured her that he is not going to be available for her. I said, so you have to make a decision about you have to really think about your attachment, you know. So these are just some simple cases of incompatibility. You see, this person is the famous guru, and so you are attracted to him. Here you are, you send a message, you're in trouble. You send a message in after 6 months before you go to the school. Yeah. So responsibility, accountability, these things must be taken into consideration. I mean, it's like you have a father, or a child is there, the child comes. This is how the relationship is built up. The child comes. Some kids, they watch at the window to check whether the car of the father is coming. And as soon as they see the car, they start running towards the car. That is relationship. Relationship also implies that we have to have that connection. Yeah, Vani and Vapu both must be there. Instructions and service, personal service. And the idea is that the guru must be living. You can't say I'm a guru, Prabhupada is my guru. I mean, it's like someone saying that the founder of this faculty is my supervisor. I'm doing a PhD. The founder of this faculty is my supervisor. It's my chairman. And so for scholars, it doesn't really make any sense. Maybe spiritual people, okay, they have different type of realizations, but for we, I mean, this doesn't make any sense. So the guru has to be not just through books, but it has to be alive. You don't say Prabhupada is a guru. Prabhupada is our param guru. You see, I have interactions with Prabhupada more than my spiritual master. I mean, problem, Prabhupada comes. This Prabhupada comes. But I can't say Prabhupada is my guru. I never met Prabhupada. He's my grand spiritual master. Yeah, so sometimes devotees get confused, and it's a problem. Then they make these choices, and then the days after, I'll give another example. There was this friend of mine in Florida. He's a professor, so he got initiated by one of the ISKCON gurus. And a few days later, he came asking me for this and that. I said, see, right now you're initiated. That time, I was a brahmachari. I said, right now you're initiated. These questions you have, write to your spiritual master. This is how you build the relationship. You cannot just say, oh, Gurudev, how are you doing? No, you have some things to make inquiries. So this is the best way to build your relationship. And he told me, oh, he's very busy, he doesn't have time. Doesn't have time. And you saw he doesn't have time. And you're a professor, and you saw he doesn't have time. How do you build the relationship? I'm not a guru. I'm just your friend. I'm brahmachari. I'm just your friend. The impact I have on your life is not going to be the impact your guru has on your life. It's so simple, change like that. So the bottom line is accessibility, accountability, responsibility. And we should interact to be able to understand, to figure out if the both of you are compatible. Because I've seen devotees, they take initiation, then even one boy, one of my young friends, he comes complaining about his guru. I said, this is offensive. You saw this person, you took initiation, you don't want to surrender to him. Why you go take initiation from him? Yeah, so we should not be in a rush. We should meticulously examine the people we know and see how we can interact, figure out ways with the accessible, can send a message to be able to clarify any doubts you have. Otherwise, the relationship is like, see, I have disciples who told me even before their initiations, even when they were young, because some of them are they got connected with me when they were like pre 20. Yeah. And then I had cases, I had scenarios where somebody tells me, like 19 years old or 18 years old boy or girl tells me, Maharaj, if you have any instruction for me, you send it to me directly. I don't want anybody to be a middleman or middle woman in my relationship with you. Yeah, I had cases like that. Openly, they told me. Openly. So, what do? I work according to their needs. Somebody said they want to come and see me. Huh? My Spanish disciple said they want to come and see me. I said, but you want to come and see me? We can just discuss on the phone. And then here goes, oh, you don't know what we gain by coming to hang out with you. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't know. All right. So these situations that there is interpersonal relations is also there. That's why we have the Vani and the Bhakti. Just like it is mentioned in our own scriptures, just a moment of association with the pure devotee, you can't fathom the benefits you have. So we should have someone in our lives, a guru, who can have maybe at least a moment of association. Those are preliminary elements you need to consider. I know what I gain from my Guru Maharaj by that personal association. He trained me how to appear on TV. He trained me. He gave me instructions. Go and preach to the professors. He gave me instructions. Do this. Do this. And with those instructions, that's what is keeping me alive. Yeah, there are general instructions Papa has given to everybody. Guru gives instructions, general instructions to everybody. But interpersonal relationship also should be there. You become highly enthused and motivated, sustainably. Yeah. All right. Any other comments or questions? Otherwise, we have to stop here because we're going to go back to Farmington Hills this morning. All right. Thank you very much for participating in this Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam.